Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of the Division Z podcast. My name is Jason.
And I'm K Cosmic.
Today, my friend,
Oof.
not a lot has happened in the community, but at the same
What are you
time,
talking about?
well, I mean, okay, well,
We have plenty to talk about. We have bomber jackets.
we have bomber
NFTs.
jackets, we have NFTs, you know,
We have
but like not like in the game specifically. I mean, a couple of things maybe have happened, but
Yeah.
let's just get into it real quick, everybody. So the first thing we want to talk about today is something kind of interesting with a $300 bomber jacket being sold by Call of Duty and the company Alpha Industries. They are a military apparel brand that, you know, makes military grade stuff. And they are selling a bomber jacket for $300.
Very nice.
That's Call of Duty themed. And also the bomber jacket is worn by the character Wade in the game, and you can get the character bundle by paying 1,100 COD points. However, if you buy the $300 jacket, you get the bundle for free. So,
well, I'm not one to give financial opinion out. Financial advice.
financial advice.
Yeah. But honestly, if you're wanting to get just the bundle, I'd say just buy the jacket in real life. Honestly, like spend the $300 and let's say you live in like Hawaii, somewhere hot. I don't know, somewhere else hot, right? Buy the jacket.
Oh
It's
yeah,
the
dude.
best investment you can make.
Yeah, you live in the desert where it's hot, you know, buy the jacket.
Buy the jacket, honestly.
Nah, but I mean, I'm gonna be honest though, the jacket does look really cool. Like I think it looks really well made, and it would be something cool to wear. $300 for it. I feel like I understand the price because it's like a limited edition item. It's like military thing. Like I get it, but how many Call of Duty players are going to buy that? Right?
Well, I mean, I feel like it has to be in a scenario where you walk in the store because is it just online or can you walk into an actual store?
Let me see real quick. I think it's just an online thing, maybe.
I was gonna say because, like, let's say I walked in, seen the bomber jacket, really liked it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, the person in the shop was like, "Oh, by the way, if you buy this jacket, you get a free bundle in Warzone." I'd be like, that's all right, actually. But you have to already like the jacket. You can't.
Oh yeah.
You can't obviously buy it for the operator soon because you can get it for like $11 anyway. I think one thing that would have been really scummy of them to do is make it so you had to buy the jacket.
Dude, could you imagine if that was the only thing that they did? Buy the jacket and you get this bundle, which the bundle in the game honestly looks like anything that Wade would just wear, but no, that's just Wade, right? Wade's the pilot. Yeah. He's the fly boy kind of a character there. He's But yeah, 1,100 COD points for that. $300 in real life. If I had $300 to spend, honestly, I would consider it. I would actually consider it because I like things like that. I like attire similar to that. So, yeah, I don't know. Just something we wanted to mention real quick at the beginning of the episode here because we thought it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, interesting. I guess marketing tactic for both Activision and the company selling the jacket. So. I mean, again, my advice is buy the jacket. Let's say you have $301 to your name. Buy the jacket. Just go for it.
$301, yeah, and you can spend that $1 on extra COD points. Nah, I'm just
exactly.
But yeah, new jacket. You can buy it in real life. It's kind of cool. I wonder if they're gonna do anything else like that too, because
I feel like it's just the first time they've done it.
Well, I'm just talking about like in real life items, right? Like moving forward, because I know it's been a little while since we've had stuff like that. If I'm not mistaken, like I mean, look behind you, you got the Juggernog fridge.
Well, there you go.
Now we got this jacket from Wade. You know, Modern Warfare. If I'm not mistaken, had those night vision goggles that people had. You know,
I mean, do you remember Black Ops 4? Black Ops 4 actually did that a lot with like the action figures. No, the action figures. Remember, you could buy the action figures, and they would give you it'd give you codes for bundles and Blackout.
I don't remember the action figure thing, but I do remember the canceled zombie statues that were supposed to be a thing.
Oh yeah, we can honestly let's talk about that later on. I didn't even think about that. No,
But
but there was a
what were the action figures? I don't think I remember
so
this.
so they were like a set of toys that you could get for I think it was for Blackout, and there's some stuff for Warzone as well. I don't think it did a lot of Warzone, if I
Hmm.
remember correctly. But I remember
Okay.
there being like a whole set of like Black Ops 4 skins, and the only way you could get them were if you bought this action figure, took it, and it gave you a code to put
Hmm.
into Blackout or something like that.
I
It
like
worked
that
in some way.
actually.
But actually, going back to the statues for the zombies, I remember them. They looked so cool, right? But
Yeah,
weren't
I
they like
liked how
two
they
hundred
looked.
dollars per like statue?
It was
And
250 each. So if you wanted to get the entirety of Premise, it was $1,000.
but you couldn't, weren't able to because they only did like one of them. It was only Richtofen they did. I'm pretty
I
sure.
think they only did Richthofen,
I remember that.
or was
Yes,
the entire thing scrapped? Because I remember something about Richthofen, right?
I mean they had designs for them.
Yeah.
Some
And
of
they
them
shared it at
existed.
Comic-Con, right? They're like,
Yeah,
"Oh yeah, we got these cool statues coming out and da da da." But I mean, I guess like a lot of things in Black Ops 4, it was just scrapped for some reason.
I don't know. I think they're expecting the game to be like get the next Fortnite, maybe. And
Well, I think that's definitely a good point with how they kind of
like
rushed
a
together
battle
to get
royale,
Blackout.
battle royale, a specialist hero based multiplayer,
Yeah.
survival zombies game mode with more content than ever. Yeah, they probably did
Yeah.
think it was gonna be like, wow, this is gonna be the best game, the best first person shooter of all time, and then
I mean, it is pretty good. You got
it's
to admit.
we
But
actually look
like,
back at it, like in general, even with zombies, it's a pretty decent package for a game.
I think the main problem is here was with the Call of Duty cycle, right? Because
Yeah,
Call of Duty, like, so many games in the franchise could be their own, like, best game ever, you know?
if
I
they
mean,
had like
even,
another 3 years of support after it.
right, yeah, Black Ops 4,
Yeah.
Black Ops Cold War, Black Ops 3, even, I'd be willing to say, for at least the zombies front, right? I know the jetpack Call of Duties is kind of a topic actually that's been debated a little bit in the Call of Duty community recently again with competitive play and yada yada.
Mm.
But but mainly Black Ops 4 and Black Ops Cold War absolutely could have been like these super in-depth supported games for so many years to come, which we are slowly seeing Black Ops Cold War being updated though with year 2 content like WMD
Yeah.
and the Vargo. I
Mhm.
know some people are saying some things are coming soon, but we'll take that with a grain of salt until it's actually out because you can data mine things that actually aren't going to be released, of course.
Yeah.
Um, but especially Black Ops 4, hell, even Modern Warfare, right? Even though Modern Warfare wasn't like my favorite game of all time, I don't think it's
Mhm.
a bad game either. I just think it's mid. Like, I think it has its good
Yeah.
points and its bad points,
Mhm.
but, I'll hop on once in a while and play. But even
Mhm.
Modern Warfare definitely had its potential to be continually updated and supported with, the way the seasons go. And obviously, we saw the first glimpse of the seasons with operations in Black Ops 4. Those operations were fun as hell, I got to admit.
I mean, yeah, looking back on again, like with Black Ops 4, just looking back on it, like in general,
Mm-hmm.
just
Yeah,
I it makes you think like if it had the original plan of having like the 3 year cycle, because they went on about it so much before the game came out.
true.
This game is going to be updated for the next 3 years.
They did say that.
It'd be interesting. I mean, like the only downside I could see to it would be zombies, because I think everyone in the community at the time, and it's important not to forget this, they hated the base game. The game had
True.
faults to the core.
True.
And if there was going to be like a Great of All zombie game where it's all the zombie maps in one game with constant updates and constant content, I don't think we would have wanted it to be Black Ops 4. I think we'd rather it be like Cold War, if you
I
get what I mean.
mean, yeah, I get what you're saying there. I think I wouldn't have minded it being on Black Ops 4, but
Oh,
that's just
no,
me,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah, no, like
I
obviously.
was amongst the lucky people during Black Ops 4's beginning that didn't crash every 2 seconds,
True.
which is actually kind of wild to think about. That it was a lot of the main YouTubers that were crashing a lot, which you got to really think about that. If people like Lex and Noah and people who you could say have influence over the community to sway people's opinions, um if they never crashed, if they never had the errors and blue screens in Black Ops 4, do you think we'd be in a much different position when it comes to Black Ops 4? I think we potentially could be,
I
because the
mean,
thing is with the big YouTubers, and I understand. Keep in mind, I understand that people's opinions are swayed by others online, and opinions, and oh, you look at things at a different light, look at things this way, and yada yada. Right? I understand that,
mhm.
but at the same time, I think people at home got to form their own opinions too. And I feel like a lot of people hating on the game just kind of parroted and echoed what other bigger YouTubers were saying, and like, I don't know. I mean, maybe those are people's opinions, and that's what they truly believed about the game. Absolutely. But to me, it just seemed like a lot of those people were just echoing what they were saying, and
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it just created this kind of weird storm of, okay, is that person's opinion truthful, or is that a person's opinion just something someone told them to say because they're a bigger YouTuber and whatever? It's kind of this weird like scale, like what's
Yeah.
really, what's really happening here with Black Ops 4 and how people are receiving the game.
Mhm.
I don't really know.
I think with it, that whole bigger content creator, their opinion is definitely echoed throughout the community to a lot of the player base. That's not the content creators' fault themselves.
For sure.
It's just the way it is. It's with
Yeah,
everything, like social media, world leaders, things like that. Beliefs are changed by that of people that have more of a vocal opinion.
they can be.
And with Black Ops 4, I'm in the same boat as you where I didn't really crash. And I don't think I might have crashed like once and that was
Same.
it. But a lot of the people that would be complaining about the crashing, the blue screens, they wouldn't get into position to do that anyway in the first place. Like, are you telling me that every casual zombie player is going for around 100? No, they're not.
Mhm.
Every casual zombie player is doing an Easter egg? No, they're not. They're just not. So again, I think it is the case where it's definitely echoed throughout
Yeah.
the viewer base, even
Yeah,
because
I get that.
how, here's the thing, right? How many people do you hear say that Dead of the Night is a really bad map, and how many people do you think actually played the map?
I mean, I'm
It's
gonna be
a
honest with you, man. I haven't heard much about Dead of the Night
well,
recently.
no one has, no one has, right? But for the example, obviously, like even Voyage, like how many people have played Voyage and actually say it's a bad map? I mean, I played it and I hated it.
I
I
mean,
didn't enjoy it.
I don't like Voyage, but
Well, there you go. Well, there you go, right? But it's just like
um,
I think that opinion of the bigger is just so far echoed that it can really hurt the game. And when all like a studio like Trigger's hearing, oh, zombies is trash, that kills like the spirit to keep the game going. And I think that's what partially killed Black Ops 4 Zombies, along with just empty promises that they probably couldn't fulfill.
yeah, and that
You know.
was a huge part of that too, was them being forced to work on Cold War, which, by the way,
Oh yeah.
like we talked about last week, I'm glad they did work on Cold War, because Cold War is a great game.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Yes.
Black Ops 4 is a great game too. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, I can understand that, where the community definitely maybe didn't. How do I word this without
How do
sounding
you
like
word
an
it?
asshole? Like like truthfully though, right? Um,
Mm,
like maybe certain people, not all people in the community were like, "Whoa, this person hates it. That means I should hate it." Right? Kind of
yeah.
like the like mob mentality kind of a
Mm,
thing, where I think there was a huge chunk of the community that was that. And then the other chunk of the community truthfully didn't like Black Ops 4. And that's just your opinion, right? But I think the thing is to recognize that, yeah, some of these bigger people can influence what goes around in the gaming sphere, but at the same time, you at home influence your own opinion. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? I think that's just what it is for everything. You have to really think about it critically and get into the game yourself and to really form your opinion on it. Because take this for example. Let's say, oh, I'm told Black Ops 4 is a bad game, and oh, I don't like Black Ops 4, blah blah blah. And then you jump into the game and you're like, "Whoa, hang on. There's something about this that I like, but I thought this was bad." But like, what?
Yeah.
Like, and it kind of gives you that weird thing where it's like, "Oh my gosh, why am I enjoying this? I shouldn't be enjoying this." And then because you've already been told. You've already been told not to like it, and you've conditioned yourself not to like it. So
Yeah.
it's almost this weird psychological thing. I know I might be getting too deep into this because it's a fucking video game, but you can really apply this to a lot of things in the gaming world, in the world in general, where you're just conditioned to like things or not like things, and then when you do like it or not like it, you go, but wait a minute, I'm supposed to not like this, or maybe I'm supposed to like this, or it's trippy. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too deep into it.
I mean, I think Black Ops 4 personally is going to be the Andrew Garfield of zombie games. And what I mean by that is when Andrew Garfield Spider-Man and the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, everyone's shouting him. Everyone I was like, oh, Andrew Garfield's the worst Spider-Man. Oh, I hate him so much. There was a lot of it. And I feel like that was definitely echoed throughout like people that like Spider-Man movies and that, right? Come to like a year or two before No Way Home. Everyone loves Andrew Garfield. Everyone's saying, "Oh, I love them. I love them from the start." You know that I loved him. He was great actor, great Peter Parker, great Spider-Man, but amazing at both, right?
That's very
interesting. In the next few years, I think we're gonna have so many people saying, I love Black Ops 4 from the start. I know it had its issues, but honestly, I think it's one of the best zombie games to date.
We're already getting that.
Yeah,
we're already getting that. Like, it's kind of funny to see how Spider-Man has its own Call of Duty cycle.
It does, yeah.
But no, we're already getting the Black Ops 4, like, oh, this game was so good, and, this was the best game ever, and, oh my God, not like Vanguard, right? Because when you have something comparatively worse to compare something to, people will always grasp onto that, right?
Yeah.
They'll be like, oh my gosh, Black Ops 4, that wasn't so bad, but have you seen Vanguard? Like, look at Vanguard.
No pause button?
We can actually say this time, objectively, that Vanguard is one of the worst iterations of the franchise we've seen.
I mean, there's nothing really like anything else you compare it to. It's worse. Like
really
down to simple features and then down to like actual like maybe progression, I guess you could say as well.
Down to literally playing the game. There are still moments in the game where it's literally not playable. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. I want to play multiplayer. I want to level up some guns. Packet burst, latency, lag. I'm like glitching around the map. The spawns are broken. People are just spawning behind me 2 seconds after I spawn in. Like, the game is unplayable in a lot of ways. So I think there is a lot of reason as to why the majority of the Call of Duty community don't like Vanguard. Like, there's actually a reason here. The game is literally not playable for good chunks of time at a time. Or sometimes when I'm in a match, I'll just get packet burst the entire match. Or, if I'm playing zombies, I'm lagging on solo. I'm lagging on solo still.
I mean, here's the thing with zombies, right? I feel like zombies in itself feels like a mobile game. Like, maybe not the engine and stuff itself, but everything else about it. Just the way the content it provides for you, right? It feels like something that would be in COD Mobile Zombies, like one of their special game modes, limited time event things.
Interesting.
Not its own standalone game mode. And for the multiplayer, I think the maps are good. I think the maps, guns, and kill streaks in the game are good. I just think everything else is trash.
Oh, yeah, no, don't get me wrong. There are actually some good multiplayer maps in this. Like, I like Tuscan. I like Gavutu. Castle, the World at War remake, obviously.
Amazing. Fun.
Those are good maps.
Yeah.
But, there's also the other half of the maps that I personally don't really like. But there are some good maps in the game. But, man, you just want to rip your hair out sometimes. And it's affecting Warzone, too. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I know we talked about this like a month or so ago. Originally, when the Vanguard implementation with Warzone happened, it broke like every Call of Duty game. It broke Vanguard, Cold War, and Modern Warfare. I mean, Modern Warfare was literally unplayable.
It was, yes.
There were dev errors and shit all over the place. I literally just lost my thought mid-sentence. You ever do that? I literally just lost my thought mid-sentence. And I'm sad that I just did. Oh my God. What was I talking about? Vanguard not being...
Vanguard not working. Vanguard being an awful game. That is Vanguard what you're talking about.
Oh my God. Dude, I hate this. I had a good point. Oh my God.
It's gone now.
Vanguard doesn't work. Hang on, I'm backtracking.
Vanguard
I'm
doesn't
backtracking.
work.
But I gotta use my brain power here. Oh my god, dude, why is the brain like this? Oh wow, wow.
So smart,
So
yet
the
so
Warzone implementation and all that making Vanguard not being playable. Wow. I mean, I guess that's something to talk about too. There, like we mentioned a while back, where that just completely broke things, and it's just honestly sad. It's honestly sad to see that the game is in the state that it is right now, because multiplayer, if everything worked as intended and everything was like not packet bursting and not latency issuing,
yeah.
Things could actually be pretty good for the multiplayer community. I think people would really like it. But I will say though, one of the shining spots of Vanguard, as a matter of fact, is the competitive scene. In my personal opinion, I think Vanguard competitively is fun. Vanguard multiplayer public lobbies are just filled with cretin.
I mean, in a way, it's like Ghost then, because Ghost competitive scene was actually really good because all like the annoying stuff was just banned from it.
Right.
So there wasn't all the issues. But you go on a game of public match in Ghosts, what do you get? LMGs, thermals, silencers,
Dude.
people with
The rats.
IEDs, the rats, exactly. The IMS,
rats.
all that stuff is what's used. And obviously in the competitive, that stuff's all just banned from the start. Like, no, none of that's getting used.
And people actually use strategies, and you actually have to really be on your toes. And really, I like ranked play in Vanguard. That's like the one thing that I will go back and consistently play, surprisingly enough. But even ranked play has its issues too, where I think Treyarch might have fixed this by now. I don't really remember. It seems the same to me, but I don't know. I feel like maybe Treyarch maybe fixed it, where the ranking system was kind of broken for a bit, where if you won a match, you only got like 5 points contributed to like your overall rank. But then if you lost a match, you lost like 60 points. And it was like,
and I was like,
why?
Bruh.
So I think they fixed that a bit. Competitive spawns are kind of a problem too. I know we had some instances of broken spawns in the last tournament with Major 2, which, by the way, congratulations to the LA Gorillas. The Cinderella story in the CDL started from the losers bracket, first round of losers bracket, after being eliminated from the first round of the winners bracket, making this huge run. Everyone doubted them. Everyone counted them out. Literally,
the underdogs.
Literally the underdogs. Call of Duty posted a statistic the other day. Only 8 people on their pick'ems and their predictions, because you can pick who wins on their website and whatever. Only 8 people predicted that they were going to win the whole thing. So really the underdogs in the tournament. So yeah, congratulations to them. They really earned it. But now we get to wait a month until more CDL action, because transition to the next topic of today's podcast, CDL Warzone. Oh, wow. CDL Warzone is going to take that gap and fill that gap throughout the month of April. We have CDL Rebirth. People like you, people like me, people like Cosmic. We can all go into Warzone and have a chance to qualify for the Pro Amateur Warzone Rebirth Island tournament, which I think is a really cool thing. What do you think about that, man?
I mean, I know myself personally, I'm not going to stand a chance. Even with aimbot, I wouldn't be good enough. Even with aimbot, which I'm sure that's going to be an issue in itself in this.
Oh yeah,
but I think it's cool that there's a playlist where we can go into to like kind of like work your way up. For all them players that have like just naturally good skill, you have time to actually show it off now. So go in it, play as much as you can. Myself, again, I know my reflexes and reaction times just aren't what they used to be. I'm an old man now, so
I'm an old man. An old man at the age of 21.
Age of 21.
Oh, friggin'. I mean, hey, Warzone, I told you, I think maybe last time, I'm having a lot of fun with Warzone. You got to join us for Warzone Wednesday, by the way.
I have it actually installed. I have Warzone.
Oh, you actually installed it this time?
Yeah, so it's on I got it installed on my PC. The only reason I couldn't do it before, so I didn't have the hard drive. Now I have the hard drive, and now it's all set up and ready to go. So, yes, I would love to play Warzone when I am free.
Hell yeah, dude. That'd be great. Because honestly, with all the community challenges and things like that, going on in Warzone, I think something huge is planned, right? Like
Mm,
I think it's very clear that Activision is putting all their eggs in their basket temporarily for Warzone until obviously Warzone 2 comes out, then they can put their eggs in a new basket.
mm,
But I mean, there's a lot of interesting stuff happening for Warzone right now. CDL Warzone tournament, the golden bunkers are about to be unlocked pretty soon. We still got to get the plunder challenges done though, so that's something.
mm.
Um, but I mean, there's something huge is going to happen with Warzone, and the tournament I think is going to be the beginning of it, where I think this is going to be really fun to watch. And yeah, I don't know. I just think it could be really interesting.
Mm.
Um,
Like you say, I think that's just them trying to like get to Warzone 2.
yeah,
And then once Warzone's 2 out, is like that's going to be the main spotlight. So they're going to try and get as much stuff out as they can. My
yeah,
thing is, I talking about Warzone 2 a little. What what do we think happens to standard Warzone?
it's a good question.
They haven't really commented on that. Are they just going to like keep it around for people that want to play it? Are they going to get rid of it? Because I think as soon as Warzone 2 comes out, why even bother trying to support old Warzone? Because all the future titles are going to be with the
Well,
Modern
that's the
Warfare 2
thing.
engine.
Yeah, that's the
So
thing.
like
What
you
happens?
wouldn't
That's a good question.
I think though, because it's I don't know.
I
I don't
mean,
know how
am I safe
legally.
to assume? I don't know if I'm safe to assume this because I know there's always server issues with Call of Duty, but I'm going to assume that Activision has billions of dollars to put into server space and server room, because you know how many millions of people still play Warzone daily?
Oh, absolutely,
Like
yeah.
that's a lot of server capacity. But I mean, they'd have to make more server space for Warzone 2, and they'd have to find a way to run both, because there's no way that every single player will go, yeah, let's play Warzone 2 now. There's always going to be people going back to the original thing, albeit maybe not as many people if Warzone 2 ends up being actually really good. Um, but I
Well,
don't
I
know. It's a
think what
tricky
happened is
question.
well, I think what happened is it won't be a choice. I think they'll get rid of Caldera, and I think what they'll do with Alcatraz is they'll move it over to the new engine. I think that's what they'll
Really,
do with
that's an
that.
interesting
Yeah, I
prediction.
think that's what they'll do with that, and then Caldera and obviously Verdansk. I think they'll just be done. I think they'll just get rid of it like they did with Verdansk, and then
That's
maybe
interesting.
not maybe not so much like an in-game tab, but you click on Warzone from the app, and that brings you just directly into Warzone. But if you go into like Modern Warfare and the older games, it will say play Warzone, and it'll just launch you into the Warzone tab again.
Yeah.
Um, it's just I don't think they'd want to divide their player base, especially with something like Warzone and Battle Royale. I think there's too
So
much
you
in it
think it
for
would be
them.
the same application, is what you're saying?
So I technically no. I think it'd be the case where you could go into Modern Warfare, Cold War, Vanguard, and they wouldn't have any connection to the previous games. But if you
Right.
press Warzone, it'd reopen the application for the other Warzone. If you
Oh,
get what I
okay.
mean. So like it's different. It's different. So they would
So
still have
so
that
so
system.
yeah, okay. So
So
the Modern Warfare 2019, Cold War, Vanguard, they would still be all tied to
yeah,
Warzone,
and that
the original Warzone application.
no, what I mean is right. So let's say you load into Modern Warfare, right? Blah 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 blah.
Mhm.
You see, Modern Warfare, Cold War, Vanguard, and then you see the Warzone tab, right?
Yeah.
So normally, right now, you click the Warzone tab and it bring you into standard Warzone.
Yeah.
Okay. I think with this tab, it will say Warzone just like it would be. It'll be like Warzone 2, whatever, right? So
Mhm.
normally when you load into the normal tab, it'll just bring you directly into Warzone. Okay.
Yeah.
That Warzone doesn't exist anymore.
Oh,
That
so it'll
does
just
not
load you into
exist.
the new one.
Loads you into the new one, yeah. Loads into
Okay.
the new one with the new engine and stuff, and completely gets rid of that. Just like how I think
Gotcha.
maybe Modern Warfare 2 would be on that, or they'll just start fresh. You know, with their new system they have,
I
where like you
mean,
can you can access
maybe.
all titles. Maybe they'll just do it where it's like I don't know.
Dude,
They've done
honestly, they
something to
should
themselves
start
here.
fresh. They should
They've done.
start fresh. Like, you know how many fucking games are gonna be shoved on the screen if they continue doing this, right? Like, we're gonna have little partitions this big,
Maybe
this big here,
maybe they
like
thought they were
Modern
going to be able to
Warfare, Modern
Europe,
Warfare 2,
and
Cold War 2, Vanguard, like it's gonna fucking like,
I think maybe they thought their games would be live service by then, but then the Microsoft thing happened. But then again, that Microsoft deal sounds like that's not something that probably happens overnight. That probably takes like years and years to discuss or talk about.
Yeah.
Um,
because you got to make sure both parties are happy. You got to make sure, you know, things are being done legally and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I mean, I don't know, man. It's kind of a weird question, actually, because, well, yeah, what would they do with that? Because you know how many gigabytes of updates and just shit they added into the game that would just completely not go to waste, but will just completely be thrown to the wayside. Like, I guess that's the same way for the previous Call of Duty games, right? With how many updates those had and the maps and the guns and whatever, right? But I don't know, it just feels weirder with Warzone, right? Because Warzone, even though it's only been around 2 years, which is crazy to think about, even though it's only been around 2 years, it feels like it's been around for longer. And
it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, so it'll be really weird. It'll be really weird to see that this version of Warzone might end up just falling into the background. And hey, bring on Warzone 2, you know? Bring it on.
I'm excited for Warzone 2. I think it'll be a good fresh start. It needs a fresh start, especially with all the stuff that happened with Vanguard. And obviously we all know what happened there.
And especially since the developers are literally they apologize for it. We talked about that in a previous episode of the podcast. They apologize for the state of Warzone. Yeah. Like, we're sorry that things are fucked up, you know? Like, we're sorry that the game, all the implementations broke the game further, yada yada, you know. And hopefully Warzone 2 is a good change, a good step in the right direction to fixing all the problems the previous Warzone had. However, I will say that there should be some new implementations to Warzone 2. Like, for example, not being able to be shot out of the sky.
Yeah, I think standard. Yeah, I think that's a good idea because I mean, what advantage do you have? I mean, what advantage do you have as someone who's like is in? I don't know. I think obviously you're in a position where you can't really do much when you're in the air, so you should be given that fighting chance. But then again, I could imagine there's so many issues happening with, like, you know, if you're spawning in. And then let's say you land and then you just don't take damage because something glitched out and then you kill that person. I can imagine that being an issue.
God mode glitch on accident, dude.
That happened to me once in standard Warzone. So I got sent to the gulag and so this team killed me, right? And I got sent to the gulag and obviously my fists were out and I glitched. I glitched around, right? Not me personally, the game glitched. And it put me right back to where I technically died. And the team started shooting me and they couldn't do anything because it thought I was in the gulag.
Oh my God.
Obviously, you know in the gulag how you wouldn't take damage.
Yeah.
So
oh my God.
I punched them both dead.
So you won that game, right?
So what happened next? I disconnected or something, but like I got kills. I went around just killing people because like I couldn't die. I couldn't pick up a gun either.
Oh my God. You couldn't even pick up a gun? Oh my God.
No. This car tried to hit me and it just went through me. I couldn't die. Like nothing killed me.
Oh no!
Because it thought I was technically in the gulag.
Wow, that's funny.
Yeah, like it's just stupid, isn't it? Like,
well, yeah, I think there definitely needs to be some fixes for Warzone 2. Then,
God, that was the good old days of like Warzone, and like, I mean, that was a while ago.
That's wild,
but it did happen. 100%. It was funny. Then people shouted on their mics because they killed me fair and square, and I just spawned back in and killed them. No. They started running away, and I thought that was quite funny. So,
dude with his fists out, chasing down people with guns because he's invincible.
And
they're basically Superman at that point.
Yeah, they're just there like shooting me like, oh, why is this guy not dying? And then I just punched them.
That's pretty
funny. Doesn't matter if it takes me like 5 minutes because you're gonna die anyway. So I'm a god.
Why not, right? Why not indulge a little bit in something that's broken? Now, if you're cheating in the game, now that's bad. But if you're indulging in a game-breaking mechanic, then actually, I don't know though. I mean, it is kind of funny. It is kind of funny that it happened, right? But at the same time, I would feel so bad.
Oh, I mean, I feel bad for that because, like, obviously, if I did it, on purpose that I would feel bad, but since I didn't,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna like pass it on as like no one can control that situation. What am I gonna do? Just back out? No,
Dude, you know
I'm
what
not
would
gonna
be
just back out.
so messed up?
What's that?
If you did that invincibility glitch
Mhm.
and it's the final circle, right? And you're
Bruh.
invincible and you just go so deep into the gas that like you're on the other side of the map. And so the last person alive is just like, where is
Where
this
is he?
guy? Right?
Where
And
is he?
he's nowhere. He's like his heartbeat sensor. Not on the heartbeat sensor. UAV. He's not in the UAV. Does he have
Where
ghosts?
is
Like
he?
really fuck with him, right? But like, I mean, that'd be cruel. But I wonder if you could like walk on the water and shit, right?
Oh,
Like you don't
I kind
like
of
all
wish
the
I
death
tried them.
barriers don't affect you.
Just a god.
Just
Just
totally fuck with the game. Totally just take it to its limit and see what it can handle.
fuck's
Um,
sake. I mean, that was funny. I enjoyed my time with that. Obviously, don't cheat. It's not fair.
don't cheat, don't
Um,
glitch, don't hack.
exactly. But if it happens to you by accident, then there's nothing you can do. So that's
And
also
there you go.
that's also something. So yeah, yeah, there you go.
It's also
Now,
something.
yeah.
Um, but I guess another topic of today would be as well. We heard rumors or murmurs rather of this earlier in the week. Call of Duty NFTs, right?
Mhm.
Now I'm sure everybody is familiar with what NFTs are, and your opinions on them, XYZ. Before we get into this topic, I want to preface that we are not going to be giving any financial advice. We're not going to be talking about the efficacy and the usage of NFTs and the political tension and the social tension that NFTs cause. We are only going to talk about the theoretical chance that they would appear in Call of Duty in the form of a theoretical idea that I heard about from somebody else online.
And that's it. It
And
doesn't
that's
go
it.
any deeper than that.
Doesn't
We're
go any
not
deeper than
financial
that.
advisors.
Nothing
I'm the
crypto
guy.
related, nothing
I'm the
blockchain
guy.
related.
I'm the guy that told you to buy the $300 jacket for a Warzone skin in Hawaii. So again, if
Uh,
you take financial advice from me, then that's your own fault.
that's
Um,
fair.
so, but no, I mean, what do you think about
Anyways,
NFTs in the Call of Duty?
I mean, the thing would be with NFTs is bundles, is essentially what it would
Yeah.
be, right? COD points is its own kind of in-game currency, anyways. The bundles would be the NFTs, and there was an idea that was theorized the other day by Lego Unlocked. I'm sure you guys know who he is,
Mhm.
where basically the bundles would be tradable, and because I guess you can trade NFTs or whatever. It would be the same thing with that, where it's like if I buy a bundle that Cosmic wanted and Cosmic bought a
Yeah.
bundle that I wanted, we could just say, hey, I actually wanted that one. You want to trade? And we trade the bundles, right?
Mhm.
Now, I think what would end up having to happen is maybe the bundles. I mean, I don't know. I just had this thought right now, and I'm kind of reworking it in my head. Would the bundles have to maybe be of equal value because of how like the COD point system works, or is it just because I don't know? Actually, that's an interesting question. Would they have to be of equal value, or could I trade a 500 COD point pack for a 2400 point COD point pack if I really wanted to? Um, like what would
I
be the
mean, I
situation there?
think I think in that case there'd need to be an own marketplace
Mm-hmm.
for skins and that where you could sell.
Because you got to think of the
Again,
value of it too, right? Because if you're
yeah.
spending 1,300 COD points and then you trade for something that is that cost someone like 500 COD points, you just got ripped off,
Oh yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So
Yeah.
would there be like a checks and balances kind of system where you either have to trade it at equal value, or maybe there's like a threshold to like, okay, maybe you paid 1,500 COD points for this pack, but you can only trade items that are like 100 COD points less or 100 COD points more. And so there's kind of like that buffer room where it's like you're not really losing a lot when you do that. Maybe you're losing like $1 or so. But like,
I think
I don't
like
know. It's kind of weird to think about.
well, it's more I think there has to be okay, right? So trading it's a good idea, keeping it simple. But then again, what are the limits? Could I trade my $20 bundle for a $5 bundle, you know?
Right. Well,
Financially,
that would be
that
between you
doesn't.
and the person.
Yeah, right. Obviously, right. If Activision would allow that in a way, if you get what I
Yeah.
mean, if they see that like, oh, why would they trade that? Are they trying to glitch the game or something? Or you know what I mean? Like that's just coming top of my head. I think I had a good point there. What was it?
Oh no, it happened to you too.
Okay, I got it. Okay, so I think something else that would matter as well is how much we get updated about skins. Because let's say there's a skin in the shop, right? And it's it's okay. It's not the worst thing in the world. It
Yeah.
costs 500 COD points. Comes out, bam, never coming back.
Yeah.
Like the NFT, right? Never coming back.
And yeah, like
That
limited edition bundles. That's an interesting point.
yeah, right. Would they have to list them as that so as many people would buy them as
Yeah.
possible? Do you think? Or
Yeah, 100%.
yeah,
I think that's a great idea where it would really give a lot of value to the trading aspect of it where, oh guys, look, this limited edition Adler bundle where he's got this crazy blueprint that you guys want to use, right? Oh, but we're only going to sell 5,000 of these. So get on it. And, with the trading, that could definitely be interesting where you trade the valuable bundles for the valuable bundles. So, oh, I'm going to trade this one of a kind Adler bundle for your one of a kind Stitch bundle. And I think that could really give it a really interesting thing, actually. I like that. I actually like that.
Obviously, the less of something, the rarer it is, right? And I think as well with that, I don't know if Activision would allow it per se, but do you think there'd be room for perhaps a marketplace for these items?
Yeah,
where it's kind of like skins for CS:GO, where it's not something that's Activision like fund, but it's done again through like like not CS:GO Lotto because that's bad, right? But there is other sites where you can put your thing up for sale, someone will buy it. Maybe there's some way you can trade it.
Yeah,
but then again, you come across the issues because I think that'd be a cool idea. But then I think it just becomes so much legal stuff for Activision to deal with, being like, right, there's kids in this game, and now they're messing around with money.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? with kids and money, that's always been an issue with video games since the start of microtransactions, right? I mean, kids will always steal their parents' credit cards, and oh my god, why did you buy 3,000 COD points, right? So there's that, and there's also the situation of. Yeah, the marketplace thing. I think it would have to be an Activision-made marketplace for something like that, 100%.
And
because if it's not, then it would just totally be abused. It would totally be not a scam, but at the same time, it could be like, how do I explain this? Like people could potentially want to trade things at much higher values than like otherwise, right? Well, I think there's also the thing too, I just thought of right now, selling your bundles to somebody else and not even just trading, just sell your bundles to somebody else for COD points, right? Oh, I don't want this bundle anymore. Give me 1,000 COD points for this one and I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
That's a thing too that could happen. Instead of like bundle for bundle. Because I know for a fact there are some bundles that I regret buying. Maybe not regret buying, but looking back on them, I'd be like, oh, why did I buy that?
Yeah. I regret buying I regret buying the Dozer.
Oh, yeah?
Remember? Yeah, a little. I mean, he's a cool skin, right? But
I like that guy.
I feel like it's because that was like the first, like, proper zombies bundle, if I remember correctly. Wasn't he? Like, wasn't he like one of
what's funny? It was like advertised to be a zombies thing, but in reality, it's like you can use it for whatever.
Yeah, how does this guy reference zombies? What makes him different from any other operator? I mean, I don't really remember.
Bulldozer himself, I think he's a cool operator. He's got that like rough and tough Marine thing going on for him. And then, he was in the storyline, Bulldozer was part of Adler's crew when Adler went to New Jersey to the Pines to see what Stitch was up to with the Nova 6 gas. So there's that. And then, Yeah, but I can understand that though. If you don't use the operator often, like I can understand
Hmm.
that. But I don't know. Me personally, I like that operator. I use him. I use him frequently.
Hmm.
But
I
yeah,
mean, again, he
I
looks
definitely
cool.
regret
I just
buying the the matchlock bundle for the marshals because
oh yes.
I genuinely thought at the time that the dragon's breath thing wasn't an attachment and it was like a blueprint specific thing, right? Because you had the like you have the weapons and zombies that, oh, you buy this bundle, it does electric elemental damage, it does fire elemental damage, whatever, right? So I
Mhm.
thought it was like a situation like that where I buy the bundle and it's like, oh, you get Fire's Breath rounds. Oh, that's really cool. So I bought it for that. Later to find out, Fire's Breath is a freaking attachment. So
Like it
so I'm
does
like,
nothing.
ah,
Like you
well,
get
shit, okay.
yeah.
Oh
Oh.
well, I guess.
That's what you get for giving in to the Activision greed. I don't know what you call it. But here's my thing, right?
It's
Here's
my own fault for buying it and for not for understanding
not
the
fact
bundle
checking,
wrong.
not fact checking and seeing, oh,
Mm-hmm.
does this work this way? I
Mm-hmm.
think going back to the whole marketplace maybe run by Activision. Well, here's what I think. I think they would try and they try and market on that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Activision. I think if you wanted to trade in their marketplace, they'd take a fee. I think
Interesting.
potentially. I think they'd be like,
So there's a transaction fee where it's like
yeah,
you trade, like you want to trade with somebody, it's like an extra 200 COD points or something.
or something like that. Yeah, like oh, you want to trade? 100 card
Interesting.
points. 100 card points. I
Mm.
don't know how that really benefits them because that like they
Mm.
because again like with digital
Well,
stuff.
because here's the thing, it would be a transaction fee, or right, if you really want to be Activision, you really want to monetize the shit out of it, right? the the difference between the bundles would be the transaction fee. So
Oh
it would be if I buy something for 2,400 COD points and I want to trade that to you who bought something for 1,200 COD points, the difference between that would be another 1,200 COD points. So the transaction fee would be 1,200 COD points to trade down, essentially, is what it would be. So
that's awful.
that's awful. Maybe I shouldn't have given them the idea,
Don't
but
say that type of stuff. They're listening. They'll use that.
dude, if they use that after if someone at Activision watches this podcast and they use that, I wholeheartedly apologize to people if that's a thing. But I'm just thinking of it in terms of what could potentially be a thing because we are keeping into account that this is Activision we're dealing with, and they
Yeah.
try to monetize a lot of stuff when it comes to the store.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe
Maybe we should just end the episode now. Keep your mouth shut. So nothing else
just end
happens.
the episode right now. Nothing else happens. We don't have to pay $5 every time we want to play the game.
Next thing you're gonna say is they should bring supply drops back.
Yeah, so I think you should bring supply drops back.
No, I'm not ones you're gonna earn in game. You have to buy them.
Oh, dude. That's the thing that Black Ops 4 did really well though at the end of the life cycle.
At the end, after the game was done, it did that really well.
Yeah.
Yes,
Because they knew during the life cycle people would just buy the shit out of those reserve crates to get the weapons.
Oh yeah.
And then afterwards it's like, oh yeah, guys, by the way, JK, you could get it this way now. Haha. And you know that was the way for them to do it. To get a few extra bucks out of people. And it's like, oh no.
Because again, it's just them trying to make more profit. Like they're like, oh, we can make money this way.
I mean, you can't you can't blame them, but at the same time, it's like
it's business, right? But like at the same time, you have to be nice to your customers.
Yeah,
that wasn't very nice.
Yeah, you gotta kind of test the waters here of your customers and your fan base, and yeah, which is I think part of the reason why the store system works better than the supply drop system. Because
it's just simple. No one, there's no gambling or anything involved, really.
Yeah, you get what you get. You
get exactly.
You decide to spend $20. Okay, you get what you get. You decide to spend $5. You get what you get. So I think that's what makes it infinitely better. And And then, of course, with the supply drops and all that, moving away from weapons unlocked in the supply drops to only have them unlocked in the battle passes, which, again, I think that's another great change. So, like, modern Call of Duty does have its improvements. And modern Call of Duty does have its things that make it stand out and does have its things that make it better than previous Call of Duties. But with this whole NFT marketplace, trade bundle, theoretical, hypothetical situation, could it be a better place? Could it be a worse place? Could it be a wild, wild west of sorts where people are buying up a bunch of bundles, reselling them on the resell Activision bundle market and trying to earn more COD points? Like what would happen there? You know, like how would this work? Would it be a detriment or would it actually help the community? Let us know in the comments what you think about that, because I mean, I think this could be a very interesting mechanic.
It could be both good and bad. We'll just have to wait and see for if they do choose to do something, which, I mean, they probably will, right? Like, probably. Like, they're Activision. If they can see, like, some money coming out of it, like, let's give it a try.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe, man. Maybe. I mean, kind of a weird topic. I didn't expect to be talking about something like this, to be honest.
No.
But hey, I think we had some interesting topics for today's episode. This was more, I feel like this was more of a different episode where we didn't necessarily talk about like in game too much, as we talked more about like the outside game.
What's happening outside.
We talked about some things about in the game, right? And how Vanguard doesn't work, and you know, packet burst or whatever, right? But for the most part, we talked about some things outside of the game, which is kind of an interesting thing for this episode. I feel like we don't do that very often, like dedicate a whole episode for that. So I don't know. This was a unique episode. Yeah, this is definitely a unique episode, which I really enjoyed this one. But yeah, so once again, ladies and gentlemen, that was I guess that's the podcast. Today we talked about Call of Duty NFTs. We talked about a little bit of Warzone, the $300 bomber jacket, Black Ops 4, of course. We always manage to talk about Black Ops 4 in some way. And, you know, the CDL and whatnot. Good episode, man. Good episode. Do you have any closing thoughts before we wrap it up?
I mean, I guess my only really thoughts are that that $300 jacket, expect me to be wearing it in the next episode.
Okay.
I'm buying it right now. Yeah. And I'm not even going to use the skin. I just want the jacket, and I'm not even going to wear it. I'm just going to put it in the back somewhere.
I mean, hey, if it's a jacket of high quality, maybe it would be worth framing it. I don't know.
Framing it. Try to shove it in a frame.
$300, you got this like frame. Well, because people frame their like sports jerseys and stuff, right?
That's true. Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Like maybe people frame the jacket like a collector's item or something, you know? I don't know. But anyways, guys, that was it for this episode of the Division Z podcast. What do you guys think about all the things we talked about today? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. And I guess with that said, have a fantastic rest of your day or night, depending on where you are in this crazy world. And I will see you guys next time with something that I do. Cosmic will see you next time with something that he does. And I guess we'll see you next time. Peace out.
Bye, everyone.